Okay, so get this. Today, we are doing a deep dive on success.
Mm-hmm.
But, and this is key, not your usual rise and grind stuff.
Right.
We've got these 10 secrets of successful people no one talks about. And alongside them, some analysis bringing in complexity science, management theory, the whole shebang.
It's pretty cool stuff.
Intrigued is an
I
understatement.
know, right? It's like we think we know success, but then bam, it's a whole other level.
Exactly. No more hiding in plain sight for these secrets. Let's unveil them right.
Okay, let's do it.
First up, and this one is kind of out there, knowing when to quit.
Interesting one to start with.
Right. Almost counterintuitive, but the source material, it calls this strategic quitting.
See, and that's where thinking about complexity comes in.
Okay.
Like, think how resilient organizations work, or even ecosystems, how they change over time. It's not always about pushing harder.
You're saying sometimes it's smarter to stop even if it feels wrong?
Sometimes the most strategic move is knowing when something, a project, even a whole way of thinking, it's just not working anymore.
Like that guy, oh, what was his name? He started a company selling, get this, custom-made socks.
Custom socks, huh?
Yeah, niche, right. But here's the thing. The real money wasn't even the socks. It was the software he built to handle orders, customer data, all that.
Interesting.
He knew to quit the sock part, even though that was his baby at first.
He adapted, realized the opportunity was bigger than he first thought.
Right. He could have clung to that even though it wasn't going great. Probably would have failed, honestly.
Sticking with a failing strategy, even if you're emotionally attached, that's tough, but often necessary.
So secret one, knowing when to call it quits can actually be the path to winning.
You got it.
Okay, what's the next hidden gem?
Secret number 2, it's all about action. Act quickly and refine later.
Hold on, that sounds kind of reckless, doesn't it?
It might seem that way, but it actually lines up with provisional action. It's a whole concept in complex systems.
Provisional action. Is that like just winging it?
Not exactly. It's more that in complex situations, you're never going to have all the info.
Right.
So you make the best call you can, NLW, with what you've got. But the key is you stay flexible.
So being ready to adjust as you learn more?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like navigating a city you've never been to, no GPS, nothing. You wouldn't just stand there because you don't have the full map, would you?
No, you'd start walking, figure it out as you go.
Exactly. Use landmarks, ask for directions, adjust as you go.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, secret number 3, this one resonates with me. Seek out contradicting opinions.
Oh, interesting.
It's so easy to just be around people who agree with you all the time, you know?
Comfortable, sure.
Yeah, but
But in complex systems, real limiting.
how so?
Ashby's law of requisite variety.
Okay, Ashby's Law, now that sounds intense.
It's simpler than it sounds, I promise. Imagine a company, right? They only hire engineers,
Okay.
great at building stuff, but their marketing stinks. No one knows how to talk to customers.
Because they're all coming from the same perspective.
Exactly. Ashby's law, it basically says to be resilient, a system needs lots of different viewpoints.
To match whatever challenges it faces.
You got it. Seeking out different opinions, even ones you disagree with, it's like stress testing your own thinking.
You're forced to consider things you wouldn't have on your own.
Exactly. And that opens up possibilities.
So diversity of thought equals resilience. Got it. What's next in these success strategies?
Well, secrets 4 and 5, they kind of go together. They both involve time, but with a focus on the long game.
Oh, I think I know where we're going with this. Long-term thinking wins again.
The source material calls them playing the long game and guarding your time fiercely.
Okay, I like those. What's the connection to complex systems?
Energy management. Think of it this way. You wouldn't run a marathon by sprinting the whole way, right?
No way, you'd burn out immediately.
Exactly. Pace yourself, conserve energy, make sure you're fueled up right.
So we're not just managing time on the calendar, but our actual energy throughout the day.
Now you're getting it.
So are we talking about prioritizing tasks then?
You hit the nail on the head, figure out what really matters, and just as importantly, learn to say no
Oh boy, the no word. That's a tough one.
to anything that drains your energy, distracts you from those priorities.
I gotta admit, still working on that no part. I'm such a yes person.
I hear that.
But I'm starting to see how that yes can sometimes be a detour, not a shortcut.
It happens.
Okay, let's dive into another secret. This is fascinating.
Okay, how about secret number 6? This one's about reframing how we see failure.
Ooh, I think I know this one. Treat failure as data, right?
You got it. It's about moving away from that fear of failure and instead seeing it as a learning opportunity.
Okay, so less doom and gloom when things don't go as planned and more data download time.
Exactly. Even the most advanced robots, they're designed to fail in controlled ways. Those failures, they give them data to make the algorithms better, right? The robot gets more capable over time.
So we should all be more like robots. Okay, just kidding. But I see what you're saying. Each setback, each failure, it's really just a chance to learn something.
To refine your approach, gather data, exactly.
Embrace the mess ups. Got
Mhm.
it.
It's all about that growth mindset, you know? Those setbacks, they're not dead ends, they're stepping stones.
Love that. Okay, feeling much more data driven about my failures already.
Okay,
What's the
good.
next secret that's going to blow my mind?
All right, secret number 7. This one emphasizes something we don't do enough in this crazy, busy world. Reflection.
Oh, yeah. The source material called it schedule thinking time. I
Right.
have to confess, when I first read that, I was like, who has time for just thinking?
Ah, yeah, I get it.
But I'm ready to be convinced. Why is this reflection thing so important, especially with all this complex system stuff?
Because it's chaotic out there.
Yeah,
Constant change, information overload. You need time to make sense of it all.
it's overwhelming.
Right. Reflection. It's like hitting pause on all that. Gives your brain a second to process, make connections.
See the patterns in all the noise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you have that bigger picture, you're going to make better decisions, spot opportunities you might have missed.
It's like taking that step back from a jigsaw puzzle. Suddenly you see what it's actually going to be.
Perfectly put.
So, thinking time, not a luxury. It's got to be non-negotiable.
I'd say so.
Do you have a method for this? Like a set time or something?
I try to block out just 30 minutes each week. Call it a brain dump.
Okay.
Just write down everything I'm thinking about, challenges, whatever's on my mind. Then I look for patterns.
Brain dump. Love that. Adding that to my to-do list.
There you go.
Or maybe to think about list. Okay, what's next in these secrets?
Secrets 8 and 9. These two go together like peanut butter and jelly. Prioritize self-care and value relationships over transactions.
Okay, both of those. Big yes for me. But how do they fit into this whole complex systems picture? Seems like we've gone from like strategic thinking to personal growth stuff.
And that's the cool part. Because in these complex systems, your well-being, your success, it's all connected. Think about a network, right? It's only as strong as its individual parts.
So for burned out, stressed, the whole system suffers.
Exactly. That self-care, exercise, sleep, taking a break when you need it, that's not selfish. It's essential.
You're more resilient, so you can contribute more?
Exactly.
Hmm.
And then relationships. They're part of that support system.
Provide different perspectives, a sounding board when things get tough, all that.
Valuing those relationships, being present for people, realizing that it's not just about what you can get from someone. That's key.
Collaboration, not just competition.
You got it.
Yeah.
We tend to see success as this individual thing,
Right, gotta climb the ladder, all that.
but having that support network, it's crucial. We're wired for connection. It's in our nature.
Especially now when everything's so interconnected.
Those relationships, not optional anymore. They're essential for being happy and indeed being successful, however you define that.
Okay, so we've got 9 secrets down, each one a piece of the puzzle. What's that final piece, the 10th secret, to complete the picture?
All right, the last one, it's about ownership. Bet big on yourself.
Ooh!
Trusting your gut, taking risks, but smart ones. Believing you can figure things out as you go.
Even when you don't have all the answers, which, let's be real, that's like always the case in complex systems.
Especially then. Because with complexity, there's no one right path.
You gotta be comfortable with the unknown.
Embrace it. Trust your judgment. Be bold. That's where the magic happens.
So it's about trusting yourself to figure it out, even when things get messy.
Exactly. Because complex systems, they're unpredictable.
Mm.
But they reward the people who can adapt, who are resourceful, who are willing to take those chances. It's about betting on your ability to learn, to grow, and to define what success means for you.
It's like that's the baseline, right? Believing in yourself, that's gotta come first.
Totally. It's like we've been unpacking this like hidden code for success. And at the heart of it, yeah, it's that self-belief. You can learn, you can adapt, you can handle whatever comes up.
I'm really loving this. We started with these 10 secrets, and they seemed like, individual tips almost.
Right.
But looking at them through this complexity lens, it's so much bigger.
It's not just about wanting to be successful. It's about understanding how everything's connected.
Being comfortable with, not knowing everything, but figuring it out as we go.
And that's really empowering when you think about it. Success isn't this predetermined thing. It's something we create.
By the choices we make, the risks we take, how we react when things get tough.
Exactly. And honestly, that's way more exciting than just following some preset path.
So true. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, one final thought for everyone listening.
Shoot.
How are you going to use these secrets, this new understanding in your own life?
What are you going to quit? What are you going to go all in on?
How are you going to bet on yourself? Because that's what it all comes down to, isn't it?
It is trusting yourself to navigate this crazy, complex world and come out on top.
And on that note, that's a wrap on today's deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep betting on yourselves.